Hey guys, Near Mint Nerd here for the I Got Issues channel. I'm back with a Wednesday haul. This is actually going to be 2 Wednesdays. Count them, 1, 2. I missed last Wednesday because it was a smaller haul. I mostly just got some of the Venomized covers and a few other books. End of the month, tiny haul, and the nerds got fewer and fewer hours to devote to some of these videos because I'm under contract for work right now, so I'm full-time. Full-time for me means, 12 to 16-hour days. I work in the television industry, so, it's not as simple as a 9 to 5 kind of thing. So it gets very hard to do these videos. Still trying to get them out there, especially the Wednesday ones. I literally have about 4 or 5 back hauls now, so I got to get to those two. I'm hoping to get to one on the weekend. But today is all about Wednesday. And to be honest, this might not be out until Thursday. It's Wednesday now as I'm doing this, but I do like to edit these videos a little bit before I put them up, so might be a little late. Regardless, I'm going to my shop right now. I'm going to get today's books, and then I'm going to smush them together with last week's books, and I'm going to go show you the whole haul as one Wednesday with 2 weeks worth of books represented. All right, so why delay when we can get right to the books? Because I'm on my way now, but you don't have to wait for that. I'm not asking you to come with me. I'm just going to turn you right over to me on the other side. Thanks, nerd. All right, so I'm going to start with last week's books. There was very few, so I didn't bother to do a video. I was pretty busy this week, so doing 2 Wednesdays together, that's just the way it had to be this week. So we're going to start off with Justice League of America number 3, Rebirth from last week. I guess I would call this the good Justice League book, although it's kind of more like an average Justice League book to the poor to middling Justice League book that Brian Hitch is writing elsewhere in the DC universe these days. I really wanted to like this book, but it didn't come out of the gate as strong as I would have liked. I do like the team. I do like some of the characters. I really dislike these generic kind of boring villains. I respect that they were villains that, came out in the 1980s Justice League, which was one of my favorite titles, but that was more about the yucks, It was more about, like, the light tone and the characters than it was about the villains. These villains, to me, just don't work very well in this kind of universe. So I really hope the next arc is going to be stronger. Or maybe it'll finish strong. I don't know. I'll let you know. Next up, the only other books from DC this week were these strange hybrid books. Booster Gold teamed up with the Flintstones. I kind of like this take on the Flintstones. I only read the first couple of issues. It really felt like that's all I needed to read to get it. But I'm a huge Booster Gold fan. Really fun to see him mixed up in this universe. It's a Michael Allred cover, so already I love it. And a little bonus feature is the Jetsons, so that should be pretty fun. In a busy week, admittedly, I probably wouldn't have picked this up, but on a lighter week, why not? And finally, from DC last week was Suicide Squad teaming up with the Banana Splits. Now, I have no idea who the Banana Splits are, to be honest. I guess they're like a Saturday morning crew. I don't know. Hard to say. Do you guys know? I've never heard of them. But I have heard of this fella right here. And this is kind of the reason I bought this book, because I am a pretty big Snagglepuss fan. Well, because I grew up with Snagglepuss. I grew up watching the Hanna-Barbera show with, Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy and Pixie and Trixie and Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. That was kind of like, as much as I grew up with Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner and all those guys, Hanna-Barbera was a big part of my life as well. So I always love Snagglepuss. I love his Exit Stage Left. I love Heavens to Murgatroyd. I love all that stuff. So I thought I would give this a shot. There he is there. All right, so, not too exciting. Kind of a cool cover, though. I've always liked, I think Losers also had the Jock and Diggle book from Vertigo. Also had one of these on the ground looking up towards the sky at the characters' covers that is kind of iconic as well. All right, just looking for a place to put those. Okay, so then Marvel last week. First of all, a holdover from even a week before. I just somehow missed this. It was left in the drawer. I guess when my guy pulled my books out, he just missed this one. It was sitting all by its lonesome there. I'm kind of looking forward to this. I watched a few episodes of the TV show. Wasn't sure about it. Thought it was kind of weak. So, I'm hoping the comic's better. Cool cover. Definitely. I think besides that, most of the books that came out this week from Marvel are... Oh, there's one here. I'm going to show you this last one. It feels like Star-Lord is kind of like on a bi-weekly schedule. Maybe it was just the last two issues kind of bumped up against each other. It feels like I just showed you Star-Lord number 4. But I don't mind because this is probably the book I'm enjoying most from Marvel. Very unexpectedly. I thought I was going to get the first couple of issues and be done. But this was a real pleasant surprise. I'm really digging this. I'm very curious what's going to happen once the Guardians of the Galaxy head back to space, because I'm really digging these grounded stories of Star-Lord. So I hope that the tone of this book keeps up. It's really fun. All right. Other than that, I just got a bunch of Venomized covers. As I've mentioned in the past, I made a deal with my comic shop where if I bought every Venomized cover, that's the whole set, even the books that I don't normally read, he'd give them to me for cover price plus $1. So I thought, what the heck? It gives me a chance to sample some new series, and I get some cool Venom covers. I'm not even a huge Venom fan, but I do like creative covers. Unfortunately, this is not one of them. Inhumans Prime. I think this is a pretty not great cover, I have to say. It just seems kind of dull and boring, and I can't really tell what's going on. I guess that's Medusa with the hair and Black Bolt, but it seems pretty uninspired to me. If you're doing like these special variants, take the time to do something super cool. This just seems kind of like a stock cover that you'd find in a drawer, we're late with the cover this week. What do we got lying around? Oh, we got this one. I'm sure that's not the case. That's just how it feels to me. And I'm sure none of you agree with me. I admittedly don't have the most discerning art eye for art that's not, to my tastes. This is another one I actually strongly dislike. X-Men Prime, number 1. Also not terribly interested in the X-Men or the Inhumans as areas of the Marvel Universe. So maybe that's playing into it. But I just thought this was kind of just dull. Don't love the pencil work. Don't love the art. No disrespect to the artists, but it's just on a typical cover. If this was just a regular cover, fine. But these are supposed to be cool variants. So give me some cool factor. Also got Occupy Avengers number 5. This is a book I dropped after issue 1 because I just I did not enjoy it. I really like Clint Barton Hawkeye. I don't know. There's something about this book I just didn't enjoy. It felt like, what it felt like to me? It felt like the old Nomad series, where he just kind of wanders America, just kind of helping people out. It just felt like a low stakes kind of, not very interesting book to me. I don't mind this cover, I guess. I mean, it's better than the previous 2, but also it's not my favorite. It's also a little bit dull, but I find it interesting that the symbiote kind of has wrapped itself around the bow. You can see like the bow dripping with that venomy substance. That's kind of interesting. Do like this cover, The Mighty Captain Marvel number 3. Very cool cover. I guess I like this kind of painted style. That looks like a hero who's venomized. Really dig that. I like, the kind of, it looks like bare feet, and I don't know. There's lots of little details to this one that I can appreciate a little more. Also got Ghost Rider Venomized, Ghost Rider #5. This comic's already canceled. I mean, I guess in the old Marvel they would put it out as a mini series, but now they're kind of spooked about miniseries because of the bad sales. So they don't tell you it's a miniseries, and then they just cancel it after 5 or 6 issues. It's kind of dirty pool, but I can understand. They need to make their money, any way they can. Regardless, I don't mind this cover. It's kind of fun. And we also got... I mean, it's kind of funny that this version of Ghost Rider, they were like, let's get rid of the motorcycle and let's make it Fast and the Furious with a Ghost Rider. That's kind of how I saw this book. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was like, really? Ghost Car Rider? He's not really, Ghost Driver would be a more appropriate title. Finally, we have Thanos, #5. I read the first couple of issues of this. Wasn't super stoked about it. Kind of let it slide. Excuse me. Do like this cover, though. It has kind of... I know it's not, but it has kind of a Scotty Young vibe to it. You know what? Let me just take a peek at and see it in the credits who did this version. I like that they put it in the credits these days. It really helps. Rob Guillory, does that sound right? Pretty cool. I like it. It's got kind of a cartoony, fun vibe. I like, I love... here's the RB. I love the details. I always like a cover that I can stare at for a few minutes and just go, who are these characters? What happened to them? That's fun for me. Anything that extends a comic experience, because the modern comic, basically you can read a comic in about 10 minutes. I figure 7 for most. Whereas, you get the older, you get the 60s and 70s comics. You got to devote 45 minutes to an hour to one of those comics. And they were 12 cents. They were 15 cents. They were up to 75, $1 even. Nowadays, you're spending $3, $4 here in Canada, $5, and you're done in 10 minutes. And a lot of people are just buying them for the covers. A little sad, actually, but, that's where we're at. Still some good stories. Not a complaint. Just wish there was a little more meat on the, on the barbecue with all that sizzle. All right. Now we're into this week's comics. I'm not going to do a book of the week this time because I'm doing 2 weeks and it's just, a little complicated. Plus, I haven't really thought about it and I just want to keep going. I got a couple of independent books. I saw this World War Tank Girl. I don't know if this is from this week or if it's, from 2 years ago. I don't know, but it was on, May 2007, so probably. So this is an issue #1. What attracted to me one, I've always liked the Tank Girl character. I actually have a soft spot for the Tank Girl movie too, if you can believe it. I know it's terrible, but I have fun watching it. What attracted to me was, here's the back. It has kind of the feel of like, a comic from, I believe these ads were from the late 70s, early 80s. And this one's all yellowed. It's the kind of thing that, you would never send to CGC. Like, look at, it's got all the damage. It looks like, actually, some of the comics I do have in my collection. And then the inside is also, it's kind of like got the feel of, and Our World's at War. It's got the, cream pages, cream to brown pages. It's just a cool package. And then it's got this really cool, and by the way, just seeing this now, so taking a second with it, but this really cool centerfold fold-out painting. Really amazing, actually. I don't know if you can see all that, but it's actually really cool. If I was 12 years old, I may have pulled this out and put it on my wall. But since I'm in my early 20s, yeah, who's buying that? I won't be doing that. All right, so I also got another independent book. This one just struck me as kind of interesting. Bad Rock Candy Mountain, #1, or Chapter 1. This is actually a variant cover. I think it seemed to be like every third or fourth comic in the stack was this cover. So probably a 1 to 2 cover or a 1 to 3 cover. I think these are called April Fool covers or something like that. where they kind of celebrate other. I think this is Bad Rock, where they celebrate the 25th Image anniversary with, other Image characters replacing the older Image characters, replacing the characters on the book. So this one is, I believe, Bad Rock from, is it Youngblood? Oh, I don't know. It's a long time ago. Anyways, let me just show you a little bit of the interior art. I don't know anything about this one. This is totally an impulse buy, but it looked good. It looked like it had some reading. I don't get too many indie books outside of trades, but with the Canadian dollar so bad right now, trades, we went through this golden period where we were on par with you guys. I say you guys because I think of the comic industry as a U.S. industry. I realize, there's other countries that put out great comics, but in this case, you guys means the U.S. So our dollar is, pretty bad compared to yours right now. And what happens is trades shoot up drastically, whereas new comics, because they only do one price these days, they don't put a Canadian and a U.S. price. Comic stores aren't comfortable with just charging you the price of the comic plus 50% more, which is sort of the markup right now. So they kind of hedge it a bit and they take a bit of a loss. So what's happened now is the comics are cheaper than the trades. Also, trades have just gone up in price, quite drastically anyways. It used to be that the trade was a cheaper way to buy comics. Now it's, comics are the cheaper way to go, and trades are a little more, unless you buy them in secondary markets, which I'm starting to do now. Anyways, sorry for that diversion. I'm looking forward to this comic. All right, so we're into DC now. Pretty big DC book. I don't think, maybe I'll do Marvel first because I've got so few Marvel books. I got Iron Fist #2, which, Iron Fist #1 just came out. So this is, are they doing double shipping books now? Probably, right? Anyways, I actually really, really like this cover a lot. I think this is kind of harkening back to the big tournament storyline that I think they did during the who was it? I was gonna say Brubaker, but I don't think Brubaker did. Oh, Matt Fraction, right? He did the big Heaven's Tournament or something storyline. That's what it feels like we're heading for with this, at least from the solicitation copy saying that there was some big kung fu tournament or something. Clearly, I haven't read the first issue. Jessica Jones #7. Always dig Jessica Jones. A lot of fun. I actually saw there was a variant cover in the guide, but they didn't have it at my store. I would have preferred the variant cover. Although I do love, these David Mack covers. I like the variant cover a little bit more, but I was not able to access that today. But I look forward to this one very much. Jessica Jones, her daughter, I can't remember her name at the moment, but her daughter with Luke Cage. Should be a good read. I'm really, of all the Brian Michael Bendis books, this is the one I'm probably enjoying more than the others. All right, next up, X-Men Gold #1. Every once in a while, like once every 5 years, I go through this stage where I go, maybe I'll give the X-Men another chance. And I always kind of wait for a jumping on point. So here we have a jumping on point. We have a team I actually sort of recognize, which is nice. I stopped reading X-Men, I want to say constantly, but it was more like religiously until about number 300. That's around when I started to fall off. When they brought Claremont back? Like he went away for a long time and did like Sovereign 7 and, clearly lost a step. And then they brought him back and then his stories just weren't good. That's when I fell off. And then that whole Extreme X-Men thing, like I was out the door. But I'm going to give it another shot. I kind of recognize some of this team. Like, certainly Nightcrawler is one of my favorites. I don't mind Colossus. Storm's fine. Old Man Wolverine could care less. I don't know who the other two are supposed to be. Is that Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde? Next to her looks like maybe Rachel. What was her name? Like she was one of the Phoenix. Was she called Phoenix? She was like the daughter or something. I don't know. She went away for like the longest time, so I'm not even sure that's her. Anyways, looks kind of fun. I almost guarantee, though, that something about it will rub me the wrong way, and by issue number 3, I'll be out the door. Bad attitude, I know, but I've been burned by the X-Men so many times before. Next up, Captain Atom. We're into DC now. The Fall and Rise of Captain Atom, number 4 of 6. I am enjoying this comic way more than I should be. I've always kind of liked Captain Atom. I liked him in Charlton. I liked him in the early days of the post-Crisis DCU. He never really caught on. His book was always low selling, although the first volume of it went like 70 issues or something crazy. I'm actually frankly surprised they bothered to bring him back. I'm sure they regret doing it because I think this thing sells like 4 copies a month or something. But you know what? I'm glad they did. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to savor it too because something tells me we're not going to see this guy for a long time after the sales that they're getting on this one. I also picked up Harley Quinn, number 17. Mostly, I hate admitting it, but I kind of bought it for the cover. I'm not a regular reader of Harley Quinn. Just kind of dug this cover. I like seeing her in her old digs. I love Cho covers. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, what can I say? Sometimes I break my own rules. Interesting seeing Dini. I guess there's a backup story Paul Dini's doing. That's kind of cool. Paul Miotti doing the art on that. Really cool. Next up, Deathstroke, Angel of Death. This is the final part of the Twilight storyline. Don't really know what it's about because I'm behind on Deathstroke. To be honest, I think Deathstroke's going monthly now. It's going to not publish 2 times a month. So I may give it a few more issues in that, because of that. But I think this was going to be my last arc if it had kept going twice a month because I'm following behind on some of these books. They're coming out very often. And the result of that is I just don't want them to stack up, I don't like to fall too far behind in reading. And so it's easy for me to drop and then pick them up down the road or pick them up, during a sale on Comixology or something when I'm at the cottage and I need something quick to read. So we'll see what happens. I am going to catch up on this. I did enjoy the earlier issue, so we'll see what happens. We also got Green Lanterns, mind you. This is the B cover. I kind of liked it better than the A cover. My shop, actually, the way these covers work is your shop can order as many as they want of A or B. My shop barely orders any B. I wonder if that's like, a line-wide thing because often I like the B cover better. I asked my shop about this. I said, why aren't you getting them 50-50 or at least picking the best cover? And their answer made a lot of business sense. They said when their customers call to ask them to pull their books, mostly they just go, give me cover A, give me cover A. They don't care. Like they're like, just give me the book. We want to read the book. So I can understand that. This one's by Sam Humphries, who's doing a great job, quite frankly. I know that there's some people who have their issues with Sam Humphries' books, but this one I've really been digging. So I'm going to keep digging it. And I believe this is the last issue of I Am Bane. Number 20. There was a B cover that was done by, let me think, who was it? It was Tim Sale. And I have been getting those B covers. I do love Tim Sale art. But this one seemed, the one that came out today just seemed oddly generic. I really have this feeling that, well, some of the covers that the B guys are doing are story specific. I think mostly DC is saying to them, give us a Batman cover, just Batman, keep it generic so that we'll always have like a stockpile of B covers for when we fall behind or whatever. Because there was this is a pretty big story. This is a big Bane story. And to have a B cover that's just Batman kind of generically standing there was, pretty surprising. So I'm sure that's the case. Unless someone can confirm otherwise, that's the story I'm sticking to. And finally this week, coming out of the 4-part Reborn crossover between Superman and Action Comics, it's Superman number 20. A Storm is Coming. Very interesting. So this one's by Tomasi, art by Gleason, who I love. Gray's in there as well, a longtime collaborator with Palmiotti. I'm interested to see where this goes. I can't even talk today. Holy cow! I should have had some water or something. I'm like blah 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 blah. You can't even understand me. So this Superman now, I take it. I think from my understanding of the last crossover is that, and I'm sorry if there's spoilers here, but be warned, is that this Superman, which is the kind of the Superman from the post-crisis DC regular universe, the pre-Flashpoint universe, has now melded completely with the new universe Superman. So the new 52 Superman, who was locked away in Mr. Oz's jail or whatever, is no more, I think. I believe what I took from that is they melded together. And I'm not sure if that goes for everybody in the universe, like if they all kind of just melted into their counterparts. I honestly don't know. It just seemed clear that Superman did. So the new 52 Superman is no more. But he lives on, I guess, as a part of this Superman. And the trait that he mostly brings to the table is he doesn't wear red underwear. All right. Black Dawn Part 1. I have no idea what this new story is about. I am looking forward to reading it. That's it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Going to pass you over to a guy that generally sits on the other side of the basement, the Near Mint Nerd. And I'm going to talk to you next week. Bye, guys. Oh, hey. Well, that was that. That took a little longer than I thought. I forgot it was 2 weeks worth of comics. So I had a little nap. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the haul. Hope you enjoyed the last of those can't even say it, Venomized covers. I only liked some of them. I mean, you already heard me tell you that. But some of them were great. So I think this month's special covers are like X-Men related. Not a huge X-Men fan. Don't send the hate mail. That's okay. And then the month after that is Mary Jane covers. So that's Mary Jane Watson, not the other Mary Jane. So those should be pretty cool. Wouldn't be surprised to see a J. Scott Campbell cover in there as part of that. Really looking forward to that. This month, not so much. All right, guys. If you liked the video, please hit like. Please subscribe. Please do all the wonderful things that get people and more eyeballs watching. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And I'm going to see you again soon with the big haul video coming this weekend. Okay, take care, everybody. Catch you later.